and breadth of the country to try and gauge the impact of the transition to GST. Mangalam Malu caught up with Mr. Bharat Puri, MD of Pidilite, to understand what GST is going to mean for the company. Take a look at the interaction.
I think there will be a short-term impact of GST. There is no doubt about that. This is something that will take some time before it gets smoothened out. But when it does happen, hopefully we will all be smiling.
So what kind of initial assessment have you made as far as destocking is concerned on GST?
So I would suspect that the last 10 days of June and probably the first 15 days of July will be the period where people, figure out the new normal. All dealers are obviously looking at keeping stocks at a bare minimum.
How have you handheld all your dealers?
We've actually trained all of our distributors physically. We've gone down to each of the locations, explained to them GST, explained to them how their world changes. We've actually given them new billing software and how they can bill their consumers, told them how to treat the stock. We have a GST control room now operating where anybody can call us any time of the day or night. Any issues, even things like, has he not got a GSTN number? Is it not matching with his PAN number? All kinds of things.
After the GST uncertainty, can we get back to the double-digit volume growth?
I have no doubts about that. I mean, it may take a little bit of time post the GST settling down.
Any inkling of how much time?
If I was optimistic, 3 months. If I was pessimistic, 6.
Okay.
But a lot of people tell me both may be optimistic. But I think it will be between 3 to 6 months.
Okay. No, I asked that question to you particularly because for a company like Pidilite, the first quarter is very important. Does that revenue which has gone come back, or it's a lost opportunity?
What has actually gone will be a large amount of stock in trade. So I would suspect most of it will come back. I don't think there is any lost sales. So that doesn't worry me too much or doesn't worry us too much. And therefore, if we can return to double-digit volume growth, we should all be smiling, and that should be our objective.
Double-digit volume growth, 3 to 4% pricing growth, which the company has historically done. 15% plus revenue growth over the next 3 years would make you a 10,000 crore sales company. Is that a possibility?
See, I don't want to put any numbers. As Pidilite, we have a philosophy, do the right thing and the numbers follow. My best indicator of success is, are more people using and consuming my product? If I am getting double-digit volume growth, I am happier. Then the numbers, there are smart financial analysts like you who will keep spinning those numbers. I will leave those to you.
Underserved markets where you see an opportunity, where is that right now?
8 out of 10 homes in India have a seepage or a leakage problem. 2 out of 10 address it. So the job again here is category creation, which is why if you look at, for example, our latest form of communication with Mr. Bachchan, it's not about selling our brand. It's about actually getting people sensitive to waterproofing.
Yes, but I am compelled to come back to numbers. What kind of opportunity do you see for waterproofing?
See, the opportunity is as big as we make it. I keep telling my team, guys, don't
How
look left.
How big do you want to make it?
I think we must make this our next big Fevicol.
So you expect Dr. Fixit to be a 2,000 crore rupee brand by?
I will, again, we go back, forget the buy. I expect Dr. Fixit to always be equal to waterproofing. When people think of waterproofing, they will think of Dr. Fixit.
You're definitely not going to give us any numbers, are you?
See, that it's a philosophy. It's not that, obviously internally we operate on targets.
Internally, that's your target. Now I'm inside your cabin. I gotta get something. Margins. Are you at a comfortable level at the margins, or do you expect some downside there?
No, I actually think that our margins are a little higher than they should be. We've been lucky vis-a-vis commodity prices.
Right.
And I think high teens to the 20% is the ideal margin for a company like us, because that also, in the end, I would prioritize volume growth over margin.
The kind of moat that you've created around all the carpenters, what stops another company from replicating that?
I think it's over time the relationships that we've built. Today, for example, there are generations of carpenters. We have, for example, over 1,000 Fevicol champion clubs across the country, from places diverse.
Basically the Facebook before Facebook.
Yes, it's the Facebook before Facebook.
Fevicol Facebook.
They've all got their own app. They're now on SMS with us. So it's not just about, hey, listen, use our product and you get points or you get... It's about creating a community which goes far beyond. So, for example, we actually educate them on new tools that are coming. We actually educate them on new ways of billing, and therefore create this community, keep making sure that we invest back in the community, and it pays us back.
How did it pay you back, if you could tell us some story?
My parents in Chandigarh were actually getting some furniture done, and my mother rang me up and I said, listen, in all small towns you have the same carpenter who comes every year. And my Fevicol salesperson was sitting next to me. And he turns to me and says, "Are you getting some work done?" I said, "Yeah, we've got this carpenter called Raju in Chandigarh and he does our work." By evening, my team had met Raju, explained to him what to do, just based on Raju Chandigarh. There were 4 Rajus in Chandigarh on the database. They figured out the right one. Now, that's our extent of user connect. And that's what makes Pidilite special.